Thank you so much for staying tuned. You just joined us. This is This Morning on ITV. On this particular segment, we'll be taking a look at EDO 2024, the impact of pressure groups in the forthcoming election. People will be like, we are the pressure group in these political parties. Like all political parties, they have pressure groups. Now, what is the essence of this pressure group? We have some pressure groups also in diaspora. You get to hear we are working for the betterment of Edo State for Edo citizens, but they are outside the shores of Edo State, imputing one or two just to make sure that Edo citizens enjoy good governance. And that was the reason why I reached out to Benjamin. He's the president, right, of Edo Youth in Diaspora. And of course, they are really, taking this election seriously. Apart from his own group, we have other groups also within Edo State, political parties, doing everything possible to make sure that the party comes out top. And for them, they have this whole inclination that good governance is the ultimate. I'm going to start with Benjamin before I come to Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo, then Barrister Greg. I have good reasons for that. Because I will start shooting points. So Benjamin, over now to you. The impact of pressure groups. Look, are they really important for Nigerians, or let's say Edo citizens, to enjoy good governance? Some are saying they're just there for themselves. What do you have to say about this?
Pressure groups are very important when it comes to politics and how they exercise their, let me not use the word power given to them, and the opportunity they have also have matters. Like here in Europe, you remember when England, the UK wanted to go out of EU, the Brexit government that initiated it, it was a pressure group around and all that actually pressurized government to go out of the EU. And there was a time that they carried out a public opinion on if they should go out of the EU and all that. Those pressure groups, they came together and give reason why the EU, England should go out of the EU. And at the end of the day, they succeeded. And that's been, I can't say that better for them. They have been safe and safeguarded, and their economy is fighting back and it's booming. And you, as you know, their currency is one of the most stronger currency in the world today. In Edo and in Nigerian election, Edo, we deserve a better government and a better governor. That's the reason why most of us in diaspora are rooting for a particular candidate who we expect and is most competent to become the governor of Edo State. The question you need to ask yourself, those pressure groups that you're talking about, they've been doing since 1999. Those pressure groups have been there. You see them in every 4 years, in every election cycle. In every election cycle. That's the reason why most of us will call them the political hallelujah boys. So this pressure group, they just 4 or 5 persons, they organize themselves, they move to a particular direction and start supporting one particular candidate. And that candidate, they are trying to make that candidate financially, and that candidate might decide to say, okay, I know what I want for myself. I know you are just here for this and for that. Do you understand? So that's the reason why pressure group in Nigeria, they are not being taken serious, because most of them are just there for what they will gain at that time. We know there are genuine pressure groups with the one we know that are not financially rather motivated on what they will gain at that time, at that moment, at that particular election cycle. In the Edo election, an eye-opener is a very unique one, where we have a candidate that is coming forward, and I don't think those pressure group is going to have much effect on those candidates and those political parties. Knowing the candidate, knowing that themselves, they are capable. The 1 or 2 persons or 2 pressure group support for them to get to where they are going to. Edo people is not like that. In a general election, it can't be so. It can be like that. People want to carry everybody along. Election, Edo people know what they want, and they know who they want to vote. They would want to vote into power. Because since 1999, we have been having this pressure group, the Greece group, and the rest of them. What have they really achieved? What have they contributed to the betterment of democracy in Edo State. Nothing. All they just want is just to get something and put to themselves, put in the pocket, especially when the candidate is not responding to their demands. So they will switch over overnight. They will switch over overnight and begin to support a different candidate. But that is where the competency and the character and the compassion of a candidate comes in. No matter what the pressure group do or does, go outside and castigate and destroy image malingering on that particular candidate. If that candidate is capable, if he's competent, he will definitely win that election. In a Edo State election, I don't see pressure group having too much influence on every candidate out there. Thank you.
All right, I'll come back to you, Benjamin. Well, Barrister Emmanuel, you heard him. He says some pressure group will just start milking the candidate dry. Some pressure groups are self-serving, while others are really out there for the party to grow and develop. Pressure groups in the 2024 election. Take it up from there, Barrister Emmanuel.
I think Mr. Benjamin has just made my day with respect to the subject matter on ground. And I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I want to tell the chloroquine bitter truth. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like pressure group in Nigeria. None in Edo State. As far as I am concerned.
Why would you say that?
Even the politicians will raise a gang of people and tag them pressure groups for their interests. And you see them going, promoting a particular candidate. The choice of a particular candidate is what they promote. Do you refer to that as pressure group? What is pressure group? A pressure group is a group that influences government on its policies. That's a pressure group. They put pressure, just like the name goes, they put pressure on government on a particular policy that is inflicting pains of the people. And where government is deliberately or otherwise refusing to make good policies, they say it. And they also put pressure on government to make good policies that will affect the people positively. That is a pressure group. Not this gang of persons or fellows who go about wanting to get money from the candidates and begin to promote the choice of a particular candidate. No, a pressure group does not promote the candidacy or candidature of any political party or promote the zest of any political party. No, pressure group does not do that. Now, what are the characteristics of a pressure group? One, they fight for recognition. They want to be recognized by the government. And that is where the government begin to take advantage of them. Two, they want to be influential. Three, they fight for survival before, during, and after every electionary year. So, with these characteristics, you would agree with me that what is termed to be pressure group today is actually not a pressure group. Because when they try to get government recognition, for government to recognize them, then they will not bow to the government, whims and caprices, so that the government cannot recognize them. Perhaps behind closed doors, they will begin to get tips from government. And you see a pressure group that will come on air or on the pages of the paper and begin to debate and argue what government seems to be doing to the people, that even the people are not, one, seeing, two, is not impacting on them. They will be promoting all of that. Then three, you influence. Today, for instance, the Nigerian Labour Congress is a pressure group. It's a trade pressure group. Ordinarily, they ought to fight for the benefit and good of the workers. But then what do we see today? Those who come to power under the Nigerian Labour Congress, they often use it to gain political recognition. And that's why once upon a time we saw in this state somebody telling us he fought for the Nigerian workers and he eventually became the governor. When he became the governor, he began to deal with Nigerian workers in the state. We saw it. So the purported pressure group that we seem to have this time are a gang of fellows who just want their belly infrastructure. And that's why you see we are not making any sense any longer. Even the so-called activists, We are not making any sense because people come and begin to practice activism because they want to gain recognition and probably take a step further by getting political offices. That is what we see. So we have hungry men, quote now, who come to the forefold in the name of a pressure group or an activist. And that's why activism in Nigeria today does not make any sense any longer to any person. Likewise, pressure group. So I want to tell you, the EDO 2024 governorship election forthcoming by September, I guess. The pressure groups we do have purportedly in this state will not make any impact because all of them are there for their belly. Belly infrastructure is what they are building for.
Belly infrastructure, they call it stomach infrastructure. Belly infrastructure is the same meaning, but now Barrister Greg. So Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo, they are not pressure groups, they're just there, a group of persons that want to fill their tummy, have their own interest above any other interest. Do you agree totally to his assertion?
Yes, even Benjamin also made mention of that to the extent that the pressure group we have in the state, so to speak, they don't have any influence on the election. I distance myself, honestly. Although the nature of the pressure group we have, they are very weak, so to say, because of they are there because of their own stomach. But that is not to say that they don't have influence or input on the coming election in Edo State. They have input. What we are trying to say, what they are trying to say is that, if I may correct, maybe that is what they are trying to say, that the nature of the pressure group we have in this country, they are very weak. Let's take it at that level. But we have them. But originally, pressure group, so defined as an interest group, solely in the sense that their main aim is to protect the interest of members. And that is why sometimes we refer to pressure groups as an interest group, because their whole aim, their major aim is to promote the interest of their members, unlike a political party aiming at capturing the political power. So pressure group is not so. They also support the political parties. So in this coming election, you see political parties embracing one or two
pressure groups.
Yeah, for support, in order to capture power. NBA, for example, Nigeria Bar Association, Bini branch, you will see that the parties, the political candidates, you will see they want to embrace NBA. Some of them they come visiting. So look at the relationship. The pressure group, the whole essence of the pressure group is to also have a smooth relationship with the incoming government.
For relevance.
That is the position.
To get recognition.
They have demands. They want to have a good relationship with the government. That is why they support the political party. So in this election, you will see candidates, political parties moving from one or embracing one pressure group and the other in order to succeed. So they have impact. So much impact. Whether the political party, whether the pressure group is weak, is temporary, is there, whatever, we know that they are weak. Their whole the whole object of the pressure group has been monetized in this country. We agree, but the politicians cannot undermine them in order to win the election. So that is.
All right. Well, Benjamin, I believe you heard Barrister Greg. Now, he said, despite the fact that pressure groups have their own motive, these candidates definitely will need one or two pressure groups to have an impact, at least having a shot at the Dennis Osadebe Avenue. What do you feel about that?
Yes, I totally agree with him on that. Totally agree with him on that, because If you have not been into politics, you see this pressure group as one of the most association to associate with. I'm not saying they're not important, but as a candidate that is competent, who knows what is want, and who won the heart of the people, especially the upcoming Edo State election,
all right, it's like we're having connection issue there with Benjamin. When we establish contact with Germany, definitely Benjamin will have his own say in this particular discussion. Well, let's take it up from where Barrister Greg left off. Barrister Emmanuel, he said this pressure group, whether you like it or not, this candidate definitely will rely on them to succeed. Take it up from there.
When we say impact, do we mean negative impacts or positive impacts? If we are looking at it from these two sides, yes, negative impact to a very few.
Recording in progress.
But
okay, just hold on.
Yeah. Again at the moment, but I believe it has to. Every competent candidate have to build a fence around against this financial extortion from pressure group, for this so-called pressure group.
All right. Well, now continue with your line of thought. He said they are in there for financial extortion from some of this pressure group. Take it up from there.
That is just the position. The purported pressure groups are there for their own benefit from the politicians. Do you now call them a pressure group? What about the interests of their members? Do they fight for the interests of their members? But members be a pressure group. Listen.
Yes.
When you talk of a pressure group, just like my learned friend cited, that he gave an example with the Nigerian Bar Association, Edo State branch. The politicians want to embrace them because they know that they need them to win the election. After that, what next? What happens? Even to the members of the NBA, what happens to them? Do they benefit from the government? That's why he said no. But someone said that's the first step of benefit. You know the problem we have in this country. Yeah. The problem we have here just now is that we have come to see wrongs as norms. And we have consciously or unconsciously or otherwise accepted it. And that is why you see today, everything that goes, we pretend to accept it. And at the close of the day, we'll discover, this thing once upon a time, we ought to have rejected this, or we ought to have corrected this. But we didn't do that. What is a pressure group? That is my question. Is a pressure group a group that will just go influence the political parties or the candidates in an election? And after the electioneering year, you will not hear anything again about that pressure group. So pressure groups now simply means a group of persons who are there in an electioneering year just for the benefit of a few, perhaps the executives of that groups. Is that what we are talking about? So a pressure group ought to stand the test of time. Pressure group ought to stand every weather. Pressure group ought to be there for the interest of its member. Pressure group ought to be there to correct government and also to influence government policies. After you use them in an election and you emerge victorious in that election, the now politicians will now even throw away that pressure group. They don't want to have anything to do with pressure group until maybe another electioneering year. And that is why you see today, like he said, that the pressure groups, they are weak. For me, they are not even existing. I don't want to give them any adjective, use any adjective to qualify them, because a pressure group ought to stand the test of time no matter the difficulty. The Nigerian Bar Association ought to do that. The Nigerian Bar Association ought to influence government policies. But the question is, do we do that?
The question is, do we do that? Quoting him. Well, he said the same thing. He's saying that after the election, what next? That is just for their own topic, like what Benjamin said.
Yes. I also distance myself from my colleague. Okay. when he stated that it does not even exist at all. And like, we are professionals. Our association is a locus classicus of a pressure group, a professional. We are examples of a professional pressure group, as you have in you know, Nigeria Bar Association is a professional. He said it doesn't exist. No, that's what that is exactly. He said
definition that if they are not pressure group, they are just there for the
I think the word pressure group does not exist.
Okay.
He said it does not exist. Okay. So I'm not comfortable with that expression. So what is correct here is that the activities of pressure group in this country is minimal. They are not vocal. That is what you have to say. Not that they don't exist. They have been monetized.
They're monetized.
Yeah, that is the issue. A number of them have been monetized. That is the reason why they abandon their initial what, aim and what objectives and functions. Ordinarily, the aim and objective of a pressure group is to promote the interest of its members. But today, what we see, they do that weekly. Not that they don't do it, but they are very weak. Some of them, where they're supposed to act, they don't act. They're supposed to prevail the government on the right policy, on the people and the particular sector or interest. But here, we are seeing a different ball game on the basis that majority of these pressure groups have been monetized. They have been politicized by the politicians. So ordinarily, a pressure group looking at a political party manifestos, they were to support them to win the government. So that at the end of the day, whatever interest, whatever problem they also have, they also take it before the political party or the government. So there's always a relationship. Their aim is not to catch up power, but their aim is to support government. They also give useful advice to the government. They also press their demands. Oh, those are the aim and objective of a pressure group. But what we are seeing now, because election is coming, you see different pressure groups at this time. They are very relevant. The various pressure groups you can see, Market Women Association, whatever pressure group, all different associations, they are very relevant at this time because of what? The election. The politicians will go out there and recognize them so that they will vote, they will support them in the upcoming election.
All right, now let's get straight to Benjamin. Benjamin, they are saying that the reason why some project groups have been bastardized is because of that money factor, that they've been monetized. That's the reason why they no longer act as effective and efficient pressure group. They work for the candidate that has the fat test bank account. What do you have to say about that?
I think that is true, but I will always say this coming election, different ballgame, which we are already seeing. Ballgame in the sense that we have of the person of Dr. Aswe Udalo, a man who I see very.
I wouldn't want us to start mentioning names right now. You are campaigning. I wouldn't want us to talk. So let's be fair, please.
A candidate that I see that has more character, competence, and the integrity to take Edo State forward. I think that kind of candidate will be manipulated by a group because of what they would like to get. Because when you know that the Edo people are with you, of running around the prison group, it's only a baby politician who have not been in the system looking for a pressure group, gain their support, also help him to galvanize the people from the street. It is only an inexperienced politician in Edo State who will look at pressure group and said, I want to give them millions and billions for them to support him or her. Election is not like that. Not a presidential, it is a governorship election, which we already know where the pendulum is swinging. I will always like to direct attention of the Edo people and you that is working in the studio that this election has nothing to do with who has a deep pocket, plus to share. It has to do with competency, character, and acceptance by the people. And that is the body language of the people, the pulse of voters. You can see, like you said, I shouldn't mention names. Body language, and he has been moving around the state, visiting all the wards. You can see how people are trooping out, giving him will support, without him asking them to support me, just to support me. Although he's asking that, like pressurizing them, looking for pressure group to support it. The pressure group, they are all coming forward. The youths are aligning for him. The market women are aligning. The old men and women are aligning for him. He's competent. That is what matters in this election, and that is what will matters after the election. Osadepe Avenue is not just for who has the money to spend. Osadepe Avenue office that is built like a four-wall, like a normal house, but who goes in there every day to work, strength and the development of the state. So those people have noticed this. You know, there is a saying in my language that say, if you stay in the darkness for too much time, you will begin to see clearly inside the darkness. That is what is happening in Edo State. The Edo people have long stayed in darkness, in the political darkness and in Edo State since 1999, and now they are beginning to seek somebody who recognize with them, who understand their feelings, who understand what they are passing through. Somebody who you even call an excellency, you say, no, don't call me an excellency. If you call him a billionaire, you say, don't do that. He's closer to the people. There is nobody he has not reached out to. Personally, I am telling you this because this is what I know. Because you said I shouldn't mention them, you already know who I'm talking with. Reach out to people that least expected him to call them. I know who you are, I am asking for your support and this and all that. So when he has reached out to you as a support group, not you coming to him, broken that barrier, or rather that piece of you, or having that thought of saying, let me go to him with my idea to get money from him and all that, it is already over. So you see that people, and especially the youth, are aligning. There was a rumor some time ago.
Hold on, Benjamin. Hold on, Benjamin. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. You can call it This Morning on ITV. You'll be right on point. We're taking a look at the EDO 2024, the impact of pressure group. Benjamin, we were with you before we went on that, but please continue with your line of thought. Over now to you, Benjamin.
Thank you for having me back. Like what I was saying, the pressure group in Edo State at the moment, they have been there. The numbers is only increasing. And we have a political party in Edo State who has produced their candidate who is going to be contesting for the 21st Edo State election. Like I said, Edo State is one of the most electorally educated people, rather region or state in Nigeria. Going to be having too much effect on those candidates at the moment, because Edo people are looking for a competent candidate who to vote for, which they have already found one, and everybody is coming out willingly and without being persuaded or financially induced to support that person. What Edo people need, and that is the only way we can move Edo State forward, not by conscience funds through pressure group or bowing to the pressure of the pressure group just to get their trust and all that. Like you said, the campaign channel, that we will not be mentioning the candidate name, but I will beg your indulgence and the people at the studio, let us know where we all stand.
All right.
Talking on behalf of the I represent, speaking Nigerian as a footborn of the of Edo State, to say a competent person and galvanize development of Edo State through my dear brother, Dr. Aswe.
Okay, thank you. Here you go again. Benjamin, you are breaking the rules. Please. I have reasons for that, because if I should let these men unbottle their own desire right now, it will be tit for tat, so to speak. Well, right now, let me get straight down to Barrister Emmanuel Obakbola. There is this notion that some pressure group, they're putting themselves for sale already. Please react to that.
When you lose the essence of your existence, it's as good to say you are not existing. That is what I meant when I said pressure groups no longer exist in Nigeria in general and in Edo State in particular. Because the pressure groups have reduced themselves, their aims and ambition now, or aims and objective rather, is belly infrastructure. You can choose to call it stomach infrastructure. When you lose the essence of your existence as a pressure group, I cannot tag you a weak pressure group. Instead, I will say that pressure group does not exist. And that is why you see today, the pressure groups that seems to be existing, or that seems to exist, cannot even put an atom of pressure on the politicians. Talk more political parties. What is the essence of pressure group? As the word goes, you put pressure on government to make good policies. It must not only be to your members, like particularly professional pressure groups, like we used to have. Professional pressure groups. Don't even use what like we used to. Yes. Once upon a time. That is my opinion. Once upon a time. They put pressure on government to make policies that affect the entirety of Nigeria. We once saw it. But today, what do we have? Take, for instance, the NLC. Under the likes of Pascal Bafiawu in the 90s, under the leadership of Pascal Bafiawu, they dared the military government. They dared the federal military government. They dared the state military government. But what do we have today? We have a gang of persons who will just go and see that it's okay, the government, they will even be promoting government policies. They'll be telling you, oh, the government says it's coming out with policies, with palliatives. The palliative will soon meet Nigerians. It will now reduce the suffering. It will ameliorate the sufferings of Nigeria. We have those who are good with grammar. But action, we don't have. The federal government came into existence since 29th of May, 2023. Till today, nothing like palliatives. We heard, oh, it was given to some states. Some state governors didn't do anything. It was given to National Assembly members. National Assembly, you should go and hold them responsible. It is only an irresponsible government that will make that kind of statement. Is that a defense?
And where are the pressure groups?
See, where are the pressure groups? That is why I ask you, after every electionary year, what next? Do we still see? Do we still hear? Do we still observe whether these pressure groups do exist? And to my mind, I don't think pressure groups do exist any longer in this country. Once upon a time, there were pressure groups. Okay. But just now, no pressure group.
All right, well, Barrister Greg, you heard him. He's still maintaining the fact that the reason why he said it, because according to him, these pressure groups have lost their essence. They've lost their importance. Some school of thought has it that when a political party comes on board, the candidate wants to vie for election, the first thing he or she goes after are these pressure groups. If they're not important, how come they're going for them? Over to you, Barrister Greg.
Yes, like I rightly said before now, that not that they don't exist, they are weak. And their own weakness is also kind of, I've also traced it to their modus operandi and the modus vivendi of the pressure group. Is this a body, somehow a toothless body, organization or association?
Toothless body, but they're supposed to have truth.
What are the tools? I'm going there. The tools they have, lobby. One of the tools they employ to strike, to approach the government, is lobby. They try to lobby the government by begging, by persuasion. They are not forceful. Okay, again, they also, maybe at worst, they demonstrate or boycott. That is the method of operation of a pressure group. And that is why you see government sometimes they don't have regards for them. However, at this critical time, election time, they have value in the eyes of the government. That is why you see, I don't agree with Benjamin. They have a role to play at this moment. Political parties should what? Should look out for them. They have leaders. They are the one that will mobilize for that political party. And I don't also agree with Benjamin that, you know, a particular candidate, a politician, has a good character. He has this and has that. A politician. I only trust myself.
So you don't trust any politicians?
See, we are all humans. You know, in the social sciences, we use human being as an experiment.
Okay.
When we are told that human behavior is indeterminable, human behavior is unpredictable. All these people, they will dress fine, they will appear very clean, inwardly. Once they are there, they will surprise you. We have seen a number of them. You cannot be certifying somebody's character. That this one is perfect, this one is competent. It's not so.
It's not. Benjamin, I told you you're going to start up something.
I'm not a politician, but I'm telling you that these people, they are not impeccable.
Impeccable. All right. You're going to have
these people are reliable.
Okay. You're going to have 1 minute.
They will disappoint you, Benjamin.
Hold on. Barrister, calm down.
I'm with you.
You're going to have 1 minute each to summarize your point. He said he doesn't trust any politician and he's not a supporter of you and doesn't a particular politician. That they are all the same. After all, they are humans and we are all flawed. You have 1 minute to summarize your point on impact of pressure groups in the 2024. Your time starts now.
I am not. The person I'm supporting is not just a regular politician, like I said before.
But it's a human.
You have every right not to. Yeah, he's a human. You have every right not to trust a politician because of what we have seen so far.
All right.
You have to look at the pedigree of the kind of person that is coming forward that most of us are seeing this time. Who is this person? What has he done? Where is he coming from? What can he achieve? You understand? So he's not an alien, unlike the alien that were like us and said this is what they are bringing forward. So now I know people have the right to choose. So you can. That is your own decision. I'm not here to infringe on your right on what to believe and not what to believe. But that is what I am saying, and that's what the Edo people are saying, because that's the pulse of the people. The most important thing is that I am here, guide on how to move Edo State forward, to be developed. Ask every Edo people, same thing that I am doing. Go for the competence for equity, fairness, and justice. And that is what I'm preaching. So, a barrister, permit me to use the word learned colleague. I want to say, at this time, whether you are a part of it, you are not part of it, you are going to be part of the problem. Just like the way you are benefiting from the harsh economy at this moment. So you have to stay on one side, not that stay on the fence. You have to be part of the decision making. This is the only time you have it. This is your civic right. You have to carry it out. You have to support the candidate to become the governor of Edo State.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. Your time is up. Thank you for your contribution. Emmanuel Bakbalo, barrister, you have just 1 minute to conclude your point. Pressure group.
Unfortunately, I still maintain my stand. We don't have pressure group. I don't want to be hearing that word pressure group because like I did say, when you lose the existence, the essence of your existence, it's as good to say you are not existing. And looking at Edo State 2024, once upon a time in 2016, we were told a particular candidate built the economy of Edo State under the then governor Adams Ali Oshomole, and eventually emerged. Later on in 2020, we were told, oh, this person wants to make himself political godfather. And because of that, there were sympathy votes, and we voted for him. But what is the situation today in Edo State? These politicians, they are bed of feathers. I don't believe anyone.
Thank you so much, Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo. Barrister Greg, you're having the last 1 minute.
Please, first and foremost, I wish to refuse the permission he sought for addressing himself as a learned colleague.
Okay. He's not. He's a learning man.
Okay, fine. I wish to refuse.
Fine, that's a beg your pardon. Okay, fine. He's not a legal practitioner, we understand.
Yeah, he's a learning colleague.
Okay, okay.
So, my advice for the politicians
in
the upcoming elections, I believe so much that the pressure group has an impact on the upcoming election. They should network, no matter how weak they are, in order to succeed in that election. The different parties should embrace them.
All right.
So that is my whole submission.
Thank you so much, Benjamin, all the way from Germany. I appreciate you for being a part of this show. Thank you so much. And of course, Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo, big thanks to you. Don't forget to mention Barrister Greg. Thanks, gentlemen, for your wonderful opinion. Well, we'll do it again, same time, same station. Bye for now.